Imagine putting $1,000 into one ETF every single month and refusing to touch it for 20 years. No trying to predict the next market crash. No jumping in and out because the news says stocks are expensive. Just $1,000 every month, consistently. Now here's the interesting part. Depending on the return you earn, that simple habit could potentially turn $240,000 of contributions into more than $500,000. And if you stretch the timeline to 30 years, the difference between your contributions and your potential portfolio value becomes enormous. But there's a catch. The ETF we're talking about today, SCHG, is heavily tilted toward large cap growth companies. That can be incredibly powerful when growth stocks are winning, but it can also create some uncomfortable periods when the market turns against them. So what actually happens if you invest $1,000 a month in SCHG? Let's break down the numbers. And if you enjoy practical investing breakdowns like this, hit the like button and subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab because we're going to focus on the numbers, not the hype. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any investment. First, what is SCHG? SCHG is the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. The basic idea is straightforward. Instead of trying to pick individual growth stocks, SCHG gives investors exposure to a broad group of large US companies with growth characteristics. That means you aren't betting everything on one company. Instead, you're buying a basket of companies that tend to benefit from long-term themes such as technology, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, digital advertising, consumer innovation, and other areas of the growth economy. But here's something investors sometimes overlook. SCHG is not the same thing as the entire US stock market. It is specifically designed around large cap growth. That distinction matters. Because when growth stocks outperform, SCHG can look incredible. But when growth stocks fall out of favor, SCHG can experience much larger declines than a more diversified broad market ETF. And that's going to become very important when we look at our $1,000 a month strategy. Let's start with the contributions. Suppose you invest exactly $1,000 every month. That's $12,000 per year. After 10 years, you would have personally contributed $120,000. After 20 years, $240,000. And after 30 years, $360,000. Notice something important. Your contribution doesn't change. It's always $1,000 a month. But the potential growth of the portfolio can change dramatically because of compounding. And this is where the numbers get interesting. Let's use hypothetical annual returns of 6%, 8%, and 10%. These aren't predictions. They're simply scenarios that help us understand what different long-term returns could do. At an average annual return of approximately 6%, investing $1,000 every month could grow to roughly $164,000 after 10 years. After 20 years, approximately $462,000. And after 30 years, around $1 million. Now let's increase the hypothetical return to 8%. After 10 years, you could have approximately $183,000. After 20 years, around $589,000. And after 30 years, roughly $1.5 million. Now let's look at 10%. After 10 years, about $205,000. After 20 years, approximately $759,000. And after 30 years, roughly $2.3 million. Think about that. At 10%, you contributed $360,000 over 30 years, but the hypothetical portfolio could grow to more than $2 million. That's the power of time and compounding. But there's an important lesson here. The return assumption matters enormously. You shouldn't watch those numbers and think, SCHG will give me 10% every year. It won't. Markets don't work that way. You could have several excellent years followed by a brutal decline. And that's especially relevant for a growth-focused ETF. Why SCHG can compound so powerfully? The reason investors are attracted to SCHG is simple. Growth companies can potentially increase earnings and cash flows at faster rates than mature companies. And when investors expect strong future growth, they're often willing to pay higher prices for those businesses. That can create a powerful cycle. Higher earnings can support higher stock prices. Higher stock prices can increase the value of your investments. And when you continuously add money, you're buying shares throughout the entire journey. But here's the part many investors don't talk about. You actually want SCHG to experience some downturns while you're still accumulating. Why? Because you're investing $1,000 every month. If SCHG falls 20%, your $1,000 contribution buys more shares. If it falls 30%, you buy even more shares. And if the underlying businesses eventually recover and continue growing, those lower priced purchases can become extremely valuable. This is one of the hidden advantages of dollar cost averaging. You're not necessarily trying to avoid volatility. You're learning how to use volatility. But there is a major risk. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable part. SCHG is not a magic wealth machine. One major risk is concentration. Even though SCHG owns many companies, a relatively small number of enormous companies can have a major influence on the ETF's performance. That means your portfolio can become heavily exposed to the performance of mega-cap growth stocks. If those companies continue dominating the economy, great. But what happens if valuations become excessive? What happens if interest rates stay higher for longer? What happens if investors suddenly prefer value stocks? Or what happens if a major technology trend doesn't produce the profits investors expected? SCHG could fall sharply. And here's the psychological test. Imagine you've invested $1,000 every month for several years. You finally reach $300,000. Then the market drops 30%. Your account could temporarily fall to around $210,000. That's a $90,000 decline on paper. Would you keep investing your $1,000? Or would you stop? That decision could matter more than the ETF itself. Because a great investment strategy can fail if the investor abandons it at the worst possible moment. Don't ignore the expense ratio. Another advantage of SCHG is its relatively low expense ratio. The expense ratio represents the annual operating cost of the fund. Even a small percentage matters over decades because you're paying it against an increasingly large portfolio. For example, a 0.04% expense ratio is dramatically different from paying 0.50% or 1%. You might think the difference is tiny. But over 20 or 30 years, those seemingly small fees can compound into thousands, or potentially tens of thousands, of dollars. This is why I believe investors should look beyond a fund's recent performance. Ask 3 questions. What does it own? How much does it cost? And can I realistically hold it through a major crash? That third question may be the most important. Here's the strategy I find most interesting. If you have $1,000 available to invest every month, you don't necessarily have to think of SCHG as a short-term trade. Think of it as an accumulation engine. Your job isn't to predict whether SCHG will be higher next month. Your job is to keep purchasing productive businesses over a long period of time. For example, imagine you're 30 years old. You invest $1,000 a month until age 60. You've contributed $360,000. If your investments compound at a hypothetical 8% annual rate, the portfolio could potentially reach around $1.5 million. But here's the key insight. You don't need to find the perfect entry point. You don't need to perfectly predict the next recession. And you don't need to know which technology company will dominate 10 years from now. Instead, you're relying on 3 things: consistency, time, and compounding. That's a much more manageable strategy for many investors. And if you're finding this breakdown useful, hit like and leave a comment below. Would you rather invest $1,000 every month in SCHG, or split that $1,000 between SCHG and a broader market ETF? I'd love to see what strategy you would choose. What about dividends? Here's another important point. SCHG isn't primarily designed to maximize dividend income. Its objective is growth. So if you're looking for a large stream of dividend payments today, SCHG probably isn't the type of ETF you're choosing for that purpose. Instead, the attraction is the potential for long-term capital appreciation. This creates an important distinction. There are ETFs designed primarily around income. There are ETFs designed around broad market exposure. And there are ETFs like SCHG that emphasize growth. None of these approaches is automatically superior. The right choice depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're building wealth decades before retirement, growth may be extremely valuable. If you're already retired and depending on portfolio income, your priorities could be very different. The $1,000 question: so, what happens if you invest $1,000 a month in SCHG? The answer isn't, you become a millionaire. The real answer is much more interesting. You create a system where your contributions and potential investment returns work together. At 30 years, you've contributed $360,000. Under an 8% hypothetical annual return, the portfolio could grow to roughly $1.5 million. But those numbers are not guaranteed. Actual returns could be substantially higher or lower. There could be recessions. There could be crashes. There could be periods where SCHG dramatically underperforms other investments. And there could even be long stretches where your account appears to be going nowhere. The investor who succeeds isn't necessarily the person who predicts those events correctly. It may be the person who has a strategy they can stick with when those events actually happen. If you're considering investing $1,000 a month, don't focus only on the question, how much money could I make? Ask a better question, can I keep doing this for 20 or 30 years? Because $1,000 invested once is helpful. $1,000 invested every month for decades can become something completely different. The contribution is simple. The discipline is difficult. And the compounding is where the potential magic happens. SCHG gives investors a concentrated way to participate in large-cap US growth. But that potential comes with volatility and concentration risk. So before investing, understand what you own, understand the costs, and most importantly, understand whether you can stay invested when the market inevitably becomes uncomfortable. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who is trying to build long-term wealth. And comment below, $1,000 a month for 30 years, would you do it? Because sometimes the most powerful investment strategy isn't finding the perfect ETF. It's finding a strategy you can actually stick with. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.